Welcome everyone to Miss Kalibo's virtual art class. Super excited to have you guys back here this week. We're doing something a little different. We've been doing a lot of drawing recently, so we're going to try out some sculpture, and we're going to be creating something called a paper relief sculpture. Paper relief sculpture is basically a sculpture where you're using different elements that are actually attached to a solid background. So our sculpture is going to look something kind of like this. I just use white paper to start with. You guys are welcome to use, notebook paper. If you have different color papers, that makes it a little bit more interesting. But you're going to kind of notice that it has a nice basic background. And we're going to take different pieces of paper that we're going to tear, we're going to fold. You can cut if you use scissors, glue them together, and we're going to build up our final design. Before we go in and do our design, we're going to go in and we're going to talk a little bit about the different types of paper folding. So it starts out with the twist. You can kind of see how I actually took a sheet of paper and I wrapped it around and glued it down. Then we're going to go in and do connect. So there's 3 different types of connects that we'll try out doing. There's one called a cube. When you kind of see it sideways, it actually looks like a cube. There's one that's more triangular, so when you look at it, it's a triangle. And also the regular one, which is just a cylinder. So we're going to try each of those today as well. After that, we have the twirl, and the really cool thing about here, you can actually notice that it looks like a ribbon. After that, we're going to be working on ripping. So we'll be doing a lot of ripping, but there's different ways that you can do it, and this actually goes in where we ripped it, and we fold it, and we kind of make this nice little fence-looking design. Alright, then you have folding, where we'll fold it to make it look kind of like a fan. We'll do a crumple, which is crumpling up the paper, and then you can actually bend it, glue it down, wrap it around, and make cool little designs that way. So we're going to go through and do each one of those. Alright, so today all you really need is 3 or 4 sheets of paper. Like I mentioned, you can have white paper, notebook paper, construction paper. I'm just going to use basic white paper to start with. And you'll also need some glue sticks. If you like, you can have some scissors, but in order to cut. But we're going to play around with just tearing the paper today. So whatever you feel is easy. So what we're going to start out with doing is we're going to learn a little bit about building up our sculpture and how it's going to look. The first thing that you guys could do, if you don't have color construction paper, if you want to go in and decorate your paper first, feel free. You can do different types of shapes, lines, pattern decorations, scribbles, however you want to. So maybe I wanted to go in and then just do some stuff really fast. You definitely can. It's not imperative. So maybe you have some markers, maybe you have color pencils, whatever you want to do. So I'm just going to kind of go in and build up some different shapes, use some different colors, play around with it. And I'm going to do this for each of my papers. Remember, you could do whatever you want, and you're just going to build it up and play around with it. So just remember, if you are using markers, make sure you are closing those markers all the way so they don't dry when you are done. And clean up all of that stuff so they're out of your way when you are finished with your materials. So I already went ahead and created 2 designs for you. So you can kind of see I have like little spirals and zigzag and squares and all kind of things. And I also have one that is scribbled. So these are 2 examples where you can use decorative paper. Or if you just want to use regular white paper, you can do that as well. Regular construction paper can do as well. So we're going to start out by having our paper, and we are going to start with the twist method. Alright, so twisting. So in order to twist, so the first thing you're going to do is we're going to have to tear our paper. So remember, if you have scissors, you can use scissors. If you don't, you can just tear it yourself. So I just go in and just kind of use my fingers, lay it down on the table if you need to. And it doesn't have to be a perfect tear. Going to play around with it. So with the twist, if you want to go in and tear a little bit more, maybe it's gotten too wide, you can do that as well. Lay it out to the side. So for twisting, it's basically exactly what you're doing. Think about like twist ties for like the little bread containers. So all you're going to do is start kind of in the middle, and you're just working your way over, and you're just going in a circle. So you're holding the paper with one hand. So I'm holding with one hand, spinning the paper with the other hand. So I'm twisting the paper all the way across. I'm going to do the same thing, flip over, go around. Be careful, it can tear. You don't want it to tear completely, because then it will completely fall apart and you have to start over, or you just have a bunch of little pieces. So you have a nice little twist. If it starts coming done, just go in and hold it up. So you can do as many of those as you want. If you have a little sheet of paper and you just want to use that left over, you could twist it as well. Sometimes the smaller it is, the easier it is to twist. So remember, you're just using one hand to hold and one hand to twist it in a circle. Alright, I have 2 pieces of twisting. Alright, once I'm done with those, I'm going to lay those off to the side to build up my next one. So my next thing is where you're connecting. So it's the same thing. So you're going to have to go in and you are going to have to tear the paper. So I'm going to go in, tear a nice strip, and my strip here, lay the extra off to the side. In order to connect, you will have to fold the paper down. So I'm going to fold it once, twice, and I can kind of keep going to the end. So I have these nice little folds. And then when you're connecting, this is where you have to get the glue. I'm going to grab a glue stick. You can use Elmer's glue. Tape if you don't have it. I'm going to go in, put some glue on one side, pull this around. I'm doing what you call is the cube to make a square. So I'm going to wrap this around, make it a square. And I'm going to hold it. So sometimes you have to count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You may have to go a bit longer, but now when you have it wrapped, it's a square. Alright, now let's try our triangular one. So triangle one is very similar. This time you can get I would get a shorter piece that you tear. So this time you're going to fold it 4 times. 1, 2, and 3, 4. So you're going to end up having 4 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I'm going to go in, put glue. You need a base, so you're going to pull this up. Fold it. Now you have a nice little point. And it's going to have to kind of flatten it out. So you do have a little triangle there. Just like that. Alright, and then the easiest one, which is the circular fold. Tear another strip. And all you got to do is just wrap it around like this, kind of like a little ring or a cylinder. Put a little bit of glue down. And stick it. Alright, so now we have cylinder. Alright, from there we are going to try the twirling. Twirling is probably the easiest one you possibly can do. You're going to pull and you're going to twirl it. So you're basically going to roll it. You're going to keep rolling till you get to the very end. Just like that. That way when you let go, it has a nice little twirl, or it looks like a ribbon. So twirl, connect, I'll keep all those together, and twist. Alright, after that, we are going to work on our ripping. So we have basically been doing ripping the whole time. You've been ripping the paper, but from there, other than just ripping the strips, you can also go in and rip little tiny pieces through, just like that. So you have little pieces, you don't go all the way in, and then you can kind of fold them in different directions to give a nice little pattern, just like that. Looks kind of like a checkerboard. Alright, remember if you were just using regular, like if you start, like I'm starting to run out of paper, so you can start and use your second piece of paper if you need to. So I'm going to grab a second sheet of paper to do my next one. So my next one is going to be fold. Fold. So folding, if you have ever made a fan, all it is you're going to go in, you're going to fold it down, flip it over, go down, flip it over, go down, flip it over, go down, flip it over, and you're going to keep that going. Down, flip it over, down, flip it over, down, flip it over, down, flip it over, down, flip it over. And that way when you open it up, nice little fold. Alright, so I'm going to move those off to the side, and we have a couple more that we're going to do. The next one's super easy is crumple. So you just tear a big sheet of paper. It's super fun. You remember sometimes you like mess up on a piece of artwork and you don't like it and you want to throw it away. This is what you can do with it. So when you crumple it, rather than throw it away, you could actually use it as part of your project and glue it down. That's crumple. And then the very last one is our bend. So basically when you're bending, I'll have to show you when we're actually gluing this down, and I'll go ahead and grab the sheet of paper. So remember, you had another sheet of paper that you're going to glue everything to. So basically when you're bending it, it's more about the gluing part. When you go to glue it, you have to put glue on both sections, on both sides. And then you're going to go in and kind of make it like a little arch. And you're going to bend it down just like that. So it makes a little archway. And remember, if you don't hold it down, it will not stick. So sometimes you may have to hold it down for, 10 to 20 seconds. Rub it down really good. And that's one example of bend. There's another bend if you want to be a little bit more advanced. So we're going to tear to the paper. Remember, if it's tear too much, knock a little more piece. So you're going to do kind of the same idea. This time you're actually going to twist. You're going to end up twisting it. So you're going to put glue on both sides. You're going to twirl or twist the paper around. And when you glue it, it's going to be just like that. So you have a nice little bend, or it kind of looks like a little roller coaster. So going upside down. So remember, you're going to go in and have to hold it a good 10 or 20 seconds to make sure it dries. So we have already started pulling up and gluing down some of our bending paper. So now we need to go in and start gluing down the rest of our folds. So remember, I'm going to go back. I'm going to use all these different things that I had from earlier. I'm going to pull them all together. Lots of different types. And remember, if you only did one of each, you're welcome. If there's one that you really enjoy doing, you can go back and make some more. So I'm going to go in wherever I want to go and glue. So I'm going to do my little cylinder, put some glue down, and stick it. So I am going to have to go in and lift it up and hold it down. So you can see how I'm holding it with my finger and count to 10 or 20 to make sure it glues. So I'm going to do that for each thing. So I have my connect. Here is my tear. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the outside edge. Stick it down. Might have to fold it a little bit. And rub it. And make sure it stays. And remember, if you need to, you can go back in and re-push on everything. So that was our rip. Right here, now we have our triangular connect. I'm going to put some glue down and stick it on there. So keep doing this until you have all of your pieces down and you feel like you're happy with it. I have my crumple. I'm going to get a nice little spot over here. Crumple, you're going to have to really push down. Hold on really, really good. Press it down, count 10 to 20. And there may be parts of it coming up, and that's totally okay. Alright, we have our nice little twirl. Put a little bit of glue on the edge. Put this over where I like it. Rub it down and hold it. You can pull it out a little bit too if you don't want it to be so tight. We have our twist. I'm going to turn my sculpture around a little bit. Put a nice little long thing of glue here. I'll lay that down. Hold it for 10 to 20. And if pieces start coming up, that's okay. You may have to use all your fingers to do this part. And I have 2 twists. I'm going to go and find another spot. I'm going to do my other twist on the other side. And this one's bigger, so I'm definitely going to have to hold it down for a little while. But keep playing around until you get each one of them up. So you want to have a twist, a connect, a twirl, a rip, a fold. Keep building it until everything is glued down. And remember, when you are done and you're happy with it, if you have extras, feel free. You can even make a second sculpture. I hope you guys have a great time doing these, trying them out, building up as you guys go. If you like to, feel free to upload a photo to Canvas so I can see, or shoot me an email and send it to me. I would love to see what you guys create. Remember, they can kind of come out in all different types of ways. This is where I did the color example, where I decorated. You can even have where it's basic and it just has a nice little 3D effect to it. Have a great time. Bye-bye.